Welcome back, guys. Board Bob here. So I did some rearranging, excuse me, off camera, to just kind of lay this out a little bit better. I tore everything down and rebuilt it. I made our forging areas a little bit bigger, to hopefully take care of some of our need. At this point, all the patches are completely covered with miners. Um, in fact, we've gotten to a point where we are starting to recover the miners off of the edges of the patches as these patches run out. So, as you can see, our iron patch is shrinking with a quickness. It should not affect us for this event preview playthrough thing that we're doing, because we're only, we're only like 5 days away from the drop for 1.0. But something that I did is I went back on a different game and I respawned this map. And sure enough, you know, it shows the iron patch over here. But the iron patch does not exist. I turned up the frequency of patches, and still it does not exist. Also, some of the other patches that were on there don't exist either. Now, out of curiosity, I did a walkabout on that map just to see where there is some iron, and there's a small patch along the lake here, and there's a small patch way down here, but that's it for like this far around. I walked all the way around this. I couldn't find any iron. It doesn't seem to exist on this map except for those two small patches. I say small, this one was 1.5 million or something like that. This one was a couple of million, but that's it. There's no iron on this map, or very little. So if we play this, you know, map in the upcoming event, we're screwed. There's just no way. So I'm gonna probably create a new map for that. In the meantime, we're gonna continue to march with this one, because what I've done is I've gone ahead and made schematics. When I tore this all down, I made schematics for these two anyway, but I put those in the world schematic book so that when we restart our new map, we're not reinventing the entire wheel. We're going to keep these. We're going to probably use them in our next map. Not necessarily in this configuration, but probably pretty close to that, at least temporarily until we get things going. So that's what's going on. We are really sucking hind tit when it comes to iron. There's copper. There's coal. We did find the coal. We found uranium. There is copper on this map in a couple of places. That's a stone. There's some more stone over here. It's just, there's the copper, 1.4. So the resources on this map are just, they suck. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. We did go ahead and start our main bus, just to get one started. We're not going to expand much past this, I don't think. We're just not going to have the time. We're just going to continue to march on developing some layouts for production. and this should give us enough for that. We've only got the one smelting. I split it into 2 lines so we can kind of keep it balanced and kind of keep things flowing. Ultimately, we'd put another smelter here and another smelter there for more copper and more iron. But right now we're just not going to do that. We don't need it. So in looking at the things that we can make, a lot of this stuff is based off of motors, and the motors require iron gears, as do quite a few other things. You know, there's a lot of requirement for motors, a lot of requirement for iron gears. So the first thing we are going to create is a line on our main bus of nothing but iron gears, so that we can have an iron gear supply. So let's just go ahead and do that. I made some belts. I picked up the factories. You know, of course, we're still. Why is this not pumping out up here? What is preventing us? Oh, that's right. We got to bring stone over here. That's why it's not building factories for us, because we don't have stone blocks. Okay, well, we can solve that. We can solve that. So that's something we're probably going to want to at least run a partial line on our map is going to be stone blocks, unless we want to continue to hand jam stone blocks, or we want to bring up stone and make stone blocks on site, which might be the better option, because a lot of this stuff requires you know, our furnaces, like our you know, our boilers and stuff require furnaces, etc. Maybe if we bring stone along this main bus and then make our stone in the locations we need to with just a single forge, that may be the way to go. Making a maul, given all of the little components that are necessary for the starter stuff on this, making a maul would be almost a nightmare. It would be huge. We may try and do that, but I think just starting out and build the main bus and taking it off the main bus is going to be our better bet. What we may do ultimately is make a storage area with receiver chests and provider chests and what have you, and do it that way. I don't know. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to want a metric crap ton of gears. So what I'm thinking is we will come off similar to our smelting. We'll come off with 2 lines, feed them back in the center, and give us our gears that way on a center line. So here we go. We're going to come there, and we're going to come up, and then let's give ourselves some room to work. That'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5 per side. Oops. We can always. So how many do we need? We need 2 plates per. Do we want to put in just 1 and then output 1? Or do we want to put in 2 and output 1? We'll see. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, this way it'll put both sides of the belt. It's not like we have a dearth of factories now. We are making them on the regular. Oops. Right, there we go. Then we're going to want to do this. Kind of a waste if we'd have planned for it. Oh well. And then we want that. I'm gonna have to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Since we got the poles, why not go ahead and bring that all the way up too. Shift. There we go. Is that everything? Now all we gotta do is hook it up. All right. And that should do us. So that's going to give us our iron gears, and we can always build this longer. We can add another inserter if we needed to, you know, to double up the input because it's 2 for 1. But that'll get us going on that. The next thing we're going to want is we're going to want motors, because the motors are the basis for all kinds of crap, and motors are just iron gears and iron plates. So I don't think we need a whole line of them. What I'd like to do is actually have half a line of motors and half a line of electric motors, because we need both. So if we did this, if we came up, let's check something here. Let's check our ratio. We need 1 and 1. Okay. So do we have, I don't think we have, oh yes we do. So we need inserters, iron sticks, and plates to make long-handled inserters. Long-handed. So let's do this. Let's make ourselves some long-handed inserters. We're gonna make 1 stack. We got it. We got enough yellows that we can do it. We're gonna make ourselves a thing of long-handed inserters. And while we're waiting on that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pluck off of this line. Yeah, we need to make more space. When we do this for real, we're gonna have to give ourselves some additional space. For right now, screw it. Alright, there we go. Right? So, then we're going to want that, and I'm going to want one of these for each. And we're going to want one of these for each. Let's see if that spaced our... Yes. Good. Are we hitting all of them? We're hitting all of them. And then... we come down here like this, and we tell this motors. Right? And then we bring our motors off, and we put motors on this side. Only these motors are going to be electric, which needs the motor and copper cables. So we just have to bring copper over. Right? So, right, and here, here, and here, and this is going to be electric motors. Over here, we're going to do the exact same thing we did down here. What do we give ourselves? We give ourselves one. Because eventually we might as well put the copper cable on the bus, because we're going to need it for circuits down the road. If we get that far, we're not going to get that far most likely, but if we were to get that far, right? Now we are out of under our splitters, so let us well, luckily we're making motors. So what do we need? We'll just throw that in there. We'll make some however many we got. Take that back. So there's that. And we missed it by a little bit, but that's okay, because we're going to put it on the bus anyway. We're going to go ahead and go here. Nowhere near us. Good. There we go. Right, now we got a line. So, across there. And kind of a waste, I know, but that's life. There we go. And now we have our motors. Both of them. I know that's going to drive some people nuts. It is a waste of resources. But we are now at the point where we're doing okay on the resources. It's not going to kill us to use up a little bit. Not the most efficient way, but it is a way. When we build our actual one, we will make it a point to have more spaces. I'm probably going to only go 4 lines, space, 4 lines, space, 4 lines, space, because that way the undergrounds can cross a 4 line. We'll probably put 4 lines, 2 or 3 spaces, 4 lines, 2 or 3 spaces. But there we go. Now we are building motors, both electric and standard. We are building gears, and we are building wire. Which means we can now build inserters and belts. Oh my. Right? Right. So, belts, we need motors, just regular motors. For that we need iron and belts. For that we need iron, belts, and motors. So we need to bring up motors and we need to bring up belts, right? To make all 3 of our items for that. For this we need iron sticks, which means we're going to need iron plates. We're going to need electric motors, so we can bring that whole line up to wherever we're going to make them. And that will give us both. And then we need iron sticks for that. So we can probably set up a little factory right here that's going to produce all 3 of our inserters. We're not going to do the fast inserters yet because we're not making electronic circuits. And all 3 of our belt items right in this area. So let's go ahead and extend out our bus. And yes, it puts a lot of stuff on the bus that just sits there, and it's kind of a waste if you look at it that way. On the flip side, you can look at it as being a buffer and accept it for what it is, and it will give you I was hoping to pick up a bunch of I didn't want to pick up the electrical ones, but that's okay. I'm just trying to pick up a bunch of regular motors. so that I can make some more belts. Belts. And belts. And we'll just let that run and make belts. So that we can extend these out. I tried to make a best guess on coming around here because I figured I could come here and then I could maybe go down with it. I could have come down here and gone across and been straight shot, but we got all these cliffs and stuff, so, and we don't have the ability right now to destroy cliffs, so we'll live with it. Okay, so we got that going. How are we doing? We'll leave that run. We'll let that one run. That'll give us some more belts to come up here and build. So, first thing we're going to build is we're going to build our belts. So we need iron plate motor to build the belt. And then we need iron plate and belt to build the underground. And motor to build that. So let's go ahead and worry first about our belts. Now we don't need a ton, right? Belts. We could probably even get away with initially just one of each, because we can just leave it build and put in a chest. So the first thing we're going to want, right, is we're going to want motors, and we're going to want plates. So we're going to want motors and plates as the two goes into, and that comes out as belts, right? And then our next item, we're going to do undergrounds, which are going to take belts and plates. So if we do that, that gives us undergrounds. And then we want so that needs belts, motors, and plates. So what if what if we fed our belts into both of those? And then this one requires motors and plates, right? Oops. Motors and plates. So, motor, plate, plate. right? So then that would give us our belts coming in, our motors coming in, our plates coming in. That would give us our motors and our plates coming in. This would give us our belts coming in and our plates coming in. So we could spin this, put this here, and do this. And then right? So then all we would have to bring up is these three if we spun it the other way. And then that would give us a chest for each one of these. And that would give us that one. That would give us that one. And then, oops. I just want to put that there. We're going to make one underground. Right? That would give us all of those. So then we want to look at these three. Because what we're going to do is we're going to spin this and make it up and down. But for now, we're going to leave it right where it's at. So now we need the burner inserter first. And the burner inserter requires stick and motor. And that gives us burner inserters. And then from the burner inserter, we get our yellow inserters, which requires the burner inserter, and an electric motor. And then the red inserter requires the yellow inserter, a stick, and a piece of iron. Oops. There we go. Right? So and then we're gonna need a factory or just to build the sticks, right? So if this is making sticks, sticks require plates. So it's sticks and motors. That gives us that. This requires motors and those. And then this requires sticks, plates, and those. So if we put that there, we could bring that in from there, that in from there. That would give us those. That would give us the sticks, and then the only thing we would need is plates, right? Plates, sticks, and yellow inserters. Plates, sticks, yellow inserters. Sticks and motors. So if we came up here, so we would have to bring up iron plates, which we're already bringing up for this. So if we spin this and put it on the other side, or actually put it on the other side of this, that gives us iron plates. Then we need motors, which we're already bringing up for this, and then electric motors. Alright, so let us blueprint this. And tear it down. And then let's blueprint this. And tear it down. This is our first one. And if we put it, and we're going to give ourselves some room to start. We're just putting those down because we now put our factories down too, so that we can look inside and see what they need. Alright, so that's plate, engine, plate, engine, plate and engine, plate, or not engine, motor. Plate, motor, that, plate, motor, and plate. Okay, and that's going to give us all of that. So then we decided that this that sticks, that needs iron plate, that needs motor, iron plate, stick, and that needs electric motor. Alright. So, how do we bring these closer together. If we bring the motor up and the plate up. Do we have splitters? We got 2 more splitters. We need some more splitters. Let's make a couple more splitters real quick. Because we can filter the splitters to only bring up. Well, we're gonna need electric motors anyway. Because we're gonna need right, and then we can. Oops. Filter this for the logistics only does son of a biscuit eater. That screws us a little. It looks like logistics does not include the motors, unless I'm not seeing them. Oh, there they are. Never mind. I'm going blind. So if we filter that right, it should send those there. It should send the regular motors up this way. Right? So we could go this way and that way, or that way, whatever. That would give us the motors to here. Right? And then this would give us, we need motors and we need plates. So we could just do this. And dump the plates or we can just bring another line up for just plates, because we're going to need a lot of plates to do all of this. And we could just run them side by side. Yeah, let's do that. Let's run them side by side. We're going to need undergrounds. We're just going to let that run. We're going to need a bunch more. We're going to need a bunch more just regular belts anyway. So we'll just snag up a bunch of motors. Alright. Because we used up most of those. while we're waiting. We're going to move this over by one. So that lines up with that. Okay, so there is our electric motors. Here, come up here, like that, and replace that with that, and that with that, because that's our plates. This one actually wants to be a short one because that's going to be our yellow motors. That's going to be our iron plates. That's going to be our iron plates. Right? Right. And then that. Yeah. So, iron plates and electric motors. So if we put it right there, tell it to ignore the stuff that's missing. Or where it can't sit stuff down because there's stuff already there, rather. Alright, this is going to want motors and plates. We got plates. Actually, you know what? Let's... I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? It's not going to be fighting over it because they're reaching each other's stuff. And then this one is motors and plates. This one is just plates and belts. Oh, that one's close. Thankfully it didn't hit our factory. Alright. And then we're just going to dump them in chests for now. Same thing over here. We're going to dump them in chests. So. Yeah, we'll just put them in chests right there. I don't think we need burner inserters. If we do, we can just grab some off of there. We don't need the sticks for now. So we'll just dump these into chests. So let's get rid of the flashy part. Almost Almost, but not quite. Is that all of the flashy parts? That's all of the flashy parts. Alright, so this coming up is going to be our motors. So we're going to want to come up here. Give ourselves the room we need. And then come up there. And then this one is going to be our iron plates. Man, coming an awful lot. Right, and then give ourselves the space we need. Right? Right. Now, the other thing we want to do is I try to make it a habit of every time I pluck off of my bus on these two lines, try to balance afterwards. So we're going to want to balance there. We plucked off here, so we're going to want to balance here. And we plucked off here, so we're going to want to balance here. Just to kind of try and keep it at least semi-balanced as best we can. There we go. So now we should be, and we're going to limit these chests to one stack. Limit this chest ultimately to 4 stacks. Limit that one to 2 stacks. Now it's making them, but everything else is taking them first. So eventually this one will grab some. I don't think we have enough inserters to be able to catch up. So this one's being a little piggy about it, but this will fill up eventually, and there we go. So now this one will start filling. Man, seriously? Alright, so there we go. We're making yellows, we're making reds, we're making our 3 Velt products, we're making our gears, and we still haven't crafted a damn thing in hand. Good to go. Oh, and we're out of coal in our research. We gotta go fuel up our labs. At some point we've got to make non-burner labs. I don't think we've reached that research. Oh, we have reached that research goal. So, oh, glass. So we need glass and green circuits to do it. So, can we make green circuits at this point? We can. Wood and copper cable, or stone tablet and copper cable. Well, we can certainly make it with wood. And then that's, how many do we need? We need 5 per, so we need a total of 10. Now glass. Glass, how do we make glass? Glass is made from sand in the stone furnace. Two gives us 4. And we need 5. Okay. So we got a couple of minutes. Let's bang this out. Let's make ourselves a couple of furnaces, or a couple of, not furnaces, a couple of labs. I don't think we have over here. We might, but I don't think we do. We don't. So we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna have to make some of those, which means we're gonna have to grab some stone real quick. We just need the one, I think. Now, does that... Alright, so now we need sand. And then... that's going to give us our glass. While we're doing that, let's look and see what we can research. So we've done all the red research that we can do. Everything else now is red and green, so we're going to have to put our research on hold anyway until we can start getting our green science in order. But we'll go ahead and get these labs made anyway. 5 glass and green circuit requires wood and copper cable, or stone tablet and copper cable. Well, I think we have wood around somewhere. We can go snag some wood if nothing else. It's going to be easier than making, because we got some right up here. I think all the wood we have right now I converted to telephone poles. So we're just going to have to grab some wood. Which we're going to have to go on a wood run at some point. But for right now, that's got us going. We got copper cables, so that gives us that. We'll just let it run through all of it. Because we'll need the green circuits at some point anyway. Right? Alright. And then this. We only got 5. Alright. Sand. We need 5 glass, which we have. We need 5 circuits, which we have. We need 5 electric motors, and we need a burner lab. We got the burner labs. We need 5 more glass, basically. Let's grab some fish while we're here. Killing time waiting, we might as well do something productive. there's the 5 we need. We'll just let that run itself down. Boink. Pick that one up. Build ourselves a lab. Pick that one up. Build ourselves a second lab. There we go. Alright, now we have electric labs. So we're not having to refuel them all the time. The only thing really we got to worry about is keeping this full. I think that's the only thing at this point that we are still hand jamming is bricks. And we don't need them that often that we have to worry about it right now, although we could, suppose we could bring a line up for bricks or for stone if we really wanted to. So tell me what you want, what you really want. I'm not going to worry about it. I think we have, it only takes what, 4 stone per. We have 2,000 stone. I don't think we're going to run out anytime in the near future. I think we're okay. So there it is, guys. We now have everything being produced that we need to do our basic construction. We have belts being made. We have splitters, undergrounds, 2 kinds of inserters, and factories. The only thing we don't have being made automatically is power poles, which maybe we'll do that. It's not going to take much to sit down a factory that makes power poles. We'll set it along this copper line somewhere, and we can just have a chest that we dump all our trees in and just have it make power poles. But we're not going to do that right now. We probably aren't even going to do that on camera. Oh, you son of a... Did you see what happened? This is what I'm talking about. This is why we got to do something about these meteorites, because this can get ugly. I'm glad that happened right on camera too. So let's go through and repair what we can repair. We got to get the and this is what makes this a really tough challenge, because if we were able to craft by hand, we would probably already have enough stuff crafted to where we could start making some of these anti-meteorite defenses. But we don't, because we're not doing this by hand. Same thing goes with fixing them and replacing the pieces. This is all going to be done by automation. Now, at some point, you know, we'll have repair bots and stuff like that that'll be able to go through and do all this repair work. But now you see the devastation that these meteorites can bring. We're going to need some parts. Let's get fixed what we can get fixed. There's probably something else we should be automating and manufacturing is repair kits. We're going to want them. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 5 forges. So we're going to have to make forges real quick. Luckily we have factory on hand. We can just plug it in. Tell it to make forges. We've got some stone already. Let's replace our telephone poles. Let's replace our inserters. Replace our belts. There we go. I think we're back in business. Yep, we're back in business. All right. Hopefully we're disaster proof for, you know, a little bit longer now. Clear out what we don't need here. Alright, so next game we're going to, or next time we're going to animate, or we're going to automate making telephone poles. We're going to automate making repair kits, which shouldn't be all that hard. Looks like we're going to want to pull a line of stone over. So we'll probably just pull a line of stone over, and then we can bring line of stone up here and feed a furnace up here, or something, and go from there. Anyway, there it is, guys. Progress, right? Alright, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.